I want to open on use surveying a farmhouse where you've identified that there's definitely only, let's say, like two vulnerable, I don't know, maybe it's like a teenage girl and an older blind man. And they clearly at least have some supplies. And just to kind of check in with your, moral compass.
How evil are we at the start of the session?
And with that in mind, maybe going through the corruptions that you have accumulated so far, because corruption is a pretty intentionally vague word. Maybe you are actually sick, maybe it's mental, maybe it's, maybe you're manic and feeling great.
I think Rufina might be the most obvious symptoms of having a great big spider gash in her side, which I imagine is sort of slowly festered. I mean, it's been treated, not treated well.
When you started the sentence with Rufina has a great big, I didn't think that you were going to end it with a spider gash.
Yeah, spider gash, nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine like her blood started sort of thumb almost rhythmically with like almost ichor inside of it. You can probably see that in your arteries of like a greenish liquid being pumped around your system. It's going, that's a bit not great.
Okay, and how are you feeling about the food situation?
Rafina's hungry and has got less morals than the upstanding other two. So it's probably the one who's leading the actual call to do this, and the rest of them are maybe questioning whether we should. And Rafina's going, no, here's how we could do it.
Sybil will be in a strange place. I think she's going to be very attached to the baby worm, to the small child that we've got, to Kiara, and kind of alternating with seeming to be very like happy and at peace, but then maybe occasionally she's wandering off into like the roadside ditches and she's vomiting light. And then there's like
she's vomiting light.
She's vomiting light. Yeah, like not in a kind of a fountainous way, but almost like just luminescent vomit.
Okay, and so she's vomiting light, but not in a fountainous
way. Not in a
more in a luminous way.
Yeah,
of course.
Potentially. I think she's probably sweating light a little bit. I think she's lactating light a little bit. I think it's just coming out of her. But she weirdly seems almost as if this is just like a normal bodily process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the worm baby, even though you've only been on the road like 3-4 days, that thing is growing every day at an alarming pace. Pretty soon it sprouted like little centipede legs, like a good 80 of them.
Oh, yeah.
And at this point, it's the size of a dog, like maybe like a Labrador.
Mm-hmm.
It's running around on its own. At night, earlier when the worm baby was still smaller, you woke up seeing Kiara holding her belly that was ballooned like a pregnant woman's.
Mm-hmm.
And she was whispering to the belly. And then you saw a tail come out of her throat and her tickling it and then coming back. You kind of had started thinking that she's been holding it inside her at night.
Mm.
It was probably a dream because that'd be weird. Let's move on to the night. Brother Sergeant. And how's your corruption going on?
I think that's one of the things that I don't know if people would have noticed, but where people kind of kept calling him the Knight, and he would be very strict about like, no, I am a sergeant. I'm not a knight. That's kind of stopped, and he's kind of, he almost seems a little vague and confused around when people sort of address him with a title, and it's like he thinks he's forgetting something, but he can't pin what it was.
Is that because he corrupted the sergeant?
That is because I corrupted the sergeant. So his memories of being a sergeant and everything that tied to that, including his role at the fall of Acre and other roles within the Templars, has been corrupted and lost. So.
And how do you, and sorry, Sybil, I forgot to ask you, how are your feeling on the whole food situation? I think just to save potential, like trying to, wiggle out of this, I'm just going
Yeah.
to say you've seen this situation enough times and right, that these two people, they're obviously vulnerable, but they are not sharing anything because even though they are in this position, they weren't born yesterday. They've survived 3 years of the plague. They know that sharing, unfortunately, more often than not means inviting death. So most likely they will just barricade themselves in the house and you're going to have to resort to violence. Like there is very little pretense that you can tell yourself that this will end in a nice picnic.
Because Giscard was going to perhaps suggest appealing to them to make a donation to God and to the church. And
I think she would be in a place where she would just feel very certain that they will share. Like,
Okay.
but in a kind of I don't really care what their real feelings are. They will share.
Okay, maybe
Yeah.
let's then develop this shot a little bit. Oh, and to mention I think the driver's staying out of it, but Kiara is relentless that if we need to kill these people, which is a big change from her when you met her. She was very much about trying to have as little people suffer as possible. That is all completely gone. She is just thrusting at the mouth like, we need to kill these people, and actually I might feed them to the worm just because we need to eat all their food they have.
Baby's hungry. Yeah.
And let's just develop, let's say you've come to the house, you've tried, you're asking for donations, which went just as well as you might imagine. You've tried appealing to the godliness of your mission, etc. And no, the young girl and her probably grandfather are barricaded in the house. You have enough, there's enough of you that if you wanted to, you could kill them, but it would have to be violence to take this food.
I think Giscard is very he's not comfortable with like tricking them or trying to force them. Certainly not to kill them. That goes very much against his instinct. He is also getting increasingly uncomfortable about this centipede baby. It seems like
You
an
probably should be,
abomination.
yeah.
Much like the spider that happened earlier. He's viewing it in the same light.
I think Sybil probably is slightly enamored with this thing from the perspective of like, oh, this is a holy relic. This is like a spawn of angels sort of thing. But then I'm imagining her like lizard brain is also going to be like, this thing is fucking terrifying. Yeah. So I think it's
If we've had this conversation already, then Giscard has definitely made the argument that, well, like when it didn't have agency and it was just like a little squirmy little larvae. It was definitely take it to the bishop. He'll know what to do. As it sprouted legs and limbs, Giscard is increasingly of the opinion that maybe we can take it to the bishop in pieces, and then the bishop can tell us what it was.
I think Rafina's staying out of it and letting other people do the emotional labor of arguing with.
How do you feel about the...
Rafina's not too insulted, I guess.
You're not too insulted by
this horrific thing.
Centipede with
Just
baby's
sticking
face.
away from it. These others seem to have strong opinions, and the strong opinion is it should probably be removed from my sight. That's a good one, but Rafina's not going to be the one who initiates any of that and just lets anyone else do that for her.
Okay. Getting back to you watching the house.
Yeah. I think similarly here, Rafina is, she's expecting someone else to do the labor and actually make the moral choice.
So who has strong principles here?
Giscard says is of the opinion that we shouldn't condemn these people to death.
Okay, well, I'm glad to see that at least on day 5 or whatever of this journey, we still have some principles, and at the very least, Giscard's stronger moral stance here isn't challenged. Speaking of the worm, I'm going to say that on the final day before arriving in Florence, let's say, I don't think we said, but let's say that the cart that you had 2 horses. and you will wake up in the morning to the sight of the centipede baby having killed and in the process of eating one of them.
Fuck, this thing is just fucking mad. Is it acting aggressive towards anybody? Is it acting like what is it like?
This would be the first like active thing that it's done.
Yeah.
I think at the time, like, horses were super valuable, and horse theft was like punishment by torture or death. Or so this is just cemented in Giscard's mind that this thing needs to be dealt with now.
That's it.
We're horse thieves. We stole 2 horses and a cart.
Yeah, but
we're gonna get killed twice.
Someone tried to. Well,
They stole our stolen horses.
Stop being moral.
Oh yeah, and then we also killed an official and 3 guards.
Well, Chiara, as she wakes up to the commotion, screaming at you, pointing to how starved her child is. And finally, yes, he snapped and he's eating this horse. And now it's just like, well, we might as well all have breakfast. Though by the rate this thing is going, there's not going to be that much left unless you act soon.
I think she would be. I think Sybil would want to. I mean, she's just watching this thing eat a horse, so I think there is a level of like just existential horror, and she didn't just get attacked by a giant spider, but like, I don't know if she would like do anything about the actual thing eating the horse.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But Rufino would do anything, or Giscard would want to shoot it away.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we went in on a horse, frankly, at this point. Can't eat it all, the horse.
It's going at it pretty fast. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Giscard's going to run up and shoot it. Maybe this would be an opportunity for sort of intentionally from the player's perspective, unintentionally from Giscard, to use his new gift of the virtues. Yeah, he's going to shoo it and waft his hand, tell it to leave, and I'm going to roll for that.
I'll say difficulty 2 for this one's not horribly difficult.
Okay. So I'm going to use 1 black dice for that. So I got 2 5s basically.
Okay, so that's a success. What does it look like when you use this new thing that you got?
It's a little bit like the voice from the Bene Gesserit in the way it's sort of portrayed. So it's quite like it's suddenly like, from everything he was saying before, suddenly there's this really forceful like, be gone.
So the baby runs away. Chiara rushes up to you. What are you doing? No. Like she's very unhappy with it, but at least most of the horse is still available for cooking. And do you think any of your anger transfers to Chiara, or are you trying to be more gentle with her?
So she's running up and being like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
It's like, it is probably for the best. You saw that thing? That was not a baby.
I do not understand why you keep saying these things. Do you understand how it makes me feel? This is my child.
I think because if she was going to go after her, I was going to intervene. So I think Sybil will come up, and I think she's going to put her hand on Chiara's shoulder, and she's just going to be saying, they all grow up at some point. You know that, right? Maybe this is him just being independent, yeah? And I'm just kind of giving everyone else like she's crazy kind of look.
In the meantime, Rufina, you see from behind the cart, so kind of shielded from everyone else in this little group, you see the child, the one that you found from the church, kind of doing the gesture with their finger of like, come up to me. And they have kind of this like playful, like, ooh, I got a little flan, I got a little something. They kind of have like a cheeky expression.
Well, yeah, Rufina's going to look between the horse, like halfway through, chopping off a leg, I guess, to cook.
I love her.
We're all so hungry. And I guess, yeah, head over to child.
I can kill that thing. I think we should. It's crazy that no one's killed this thing so far. But I think we should kill that thing, and I could kill that thing.
Just one more day.
What do you mean more day?
One more date, then we meet the bishop.
Are you
and he
stupid? Are you
takes it.
actually? I thought you're a grown up. Are you actually like dumb? They're not going to let us in the city with this fucking monster.
We hide it under a pile of cloth.
I'm sorry, weren't you like the Duchess of Dumbtown or something? This thing is a fucking monster. They are not going to let us see the fucking bishop. You're a dumb slut.
Whoa.
What I'm
Right.
asking you, and please just give me an answer to the fucking question, okay? Do you want me to kill it or no?
Not yet. Bishop will reward us handsomely.
Which part of this plan makes any sense to you?
Best we've got. Do you want to get to Avignon? Then we need some funds. We need the bishop to give us them.
Oh my god, you are so...
Did any of us hear the
No.
child?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you share on the conversation you had with the child, Rufina?
No.
You do notice them then sleeping next to Sybil later, and they show no signs that they've actually had this conversation with you.
Yeah, I'll be gently stroking their hair.
We've got the cart, right? Was the cart like a carriage, or was it
Yeah, like a,
Yeah. enclosed? So we could lock it in the carriage.
Maybe we can just like put meat on the cart and just keep it by feeding it on the cart. And then
Yeah.
like rope it down or something if we can get a chance.
If you want to do that, somebody give me a roll. I'd say difficulty 3 to both get Chiara on board and get the thing inside the cart and lock it until you arrive in
Yeah.
Florence.
I think I might use my power.
Ooh, what's the power?
If you're watching her from a distance, you probably see her just like shuffling along, and then she starts to walk a little taller. And I think as she gets closer to this thing, she's going to look in it in the eyes, and she's going to start speaking, and she's going to be just saying like, "Come on, my darling, it's time now. Come with me." And as she's speaking, this like tendrils of light are just like leaking out of her and like waving gently, like almost like seaweed. So she's going to be trying to convince this thing to follow her and to be calm and to be nice. 1-6 black dice.
So that will do it. That's a success. Your tendrils of light are apparently very persuasive. And as you're approaching Florence, you have Chiara and her baby inside the cart. Your arguments worked. I'd say the last thing before we enter the city proper is we would pass a vineyard. And I think it has clearly been abandoned for a long time. You, Rufina, probably have something personal that, like, when you see that detail, tells you that this is broken beyond repair. What is it?
Yeah, I think seeing this vineyard, like, maybe the ground is just so dried and cracked that just fundamentally things can't grow there again. And she had some hope that maybe her family was continuing a bit to maintain it, maintain their status, nobility, but if they can't even maintain some grapevines, then there's nothing here for her. Yeah, nothing to help her reclaim her past in those halls.
Probably the most unfortunate side is in the main room on the ground floor of the house atop of the vineyard. There is a corpse hanging from a noose, somebody who probably hanged themselves. And it's somebody who used to run the place. Who was that?
Well, it was my dad's. He'd employed someone to run it, as he would. But yes, a fairly successful merchant, I imagine, who negotiates the prices with the passing merchants going through, makes most of the money for the estate, etc., etc. Matteo. Let's go with Matteo.
This corpse has been hanging what looks to be at least a year. You look towards his face and he whispers, "Come and cut down this rope. They've been hanging for a long time."
I guess so. Guess Rafina can do that. Again, another excuse. She could say she was going to bury it if someone questions, yeah.
Okay, you cut down. Do you try to hold the body? Immediately falls, so do you try to hold it up or do you just let it fall to the ground?
I'll be honest, I don't think Rafina particularly liked the guy. He was like a shrewd merchant who was kind of fixated on money, which she is also now herself fixated on money currently. But yeah, still not particularly loving the guy, so let's it drop.
immediately like the legs break, a whole bunch of weird things of the body let themselves loose on the floor. You see the neck is broken. You hear the voice say, I broke my neck again. Child, come closer.
Very well. Rufina, I guess, leans in a bit.
I need to whisper you the family secret. Come closer, child. Come.
He gonna eat you.
I don't think so. Matteo doesn't have a family secret. Rufina's sure about that.
I was the last one to see your father. I will tell you what happened to him, but you need to come close so your friends don't hear. Come. Let me whisper into your ear.
Okay. That gets her.
Okay. You kneel down, put your
Yeah.
face next
My
to
neck next to his ear as well.
the body smells awful.
Mm.
You hear a voice that suddenly turns much louder. Oh my god, you're such a dumb slut. Fucking hell. Christ on a fucking cross. You bringing it to the city. Do you understand that thing will eat everyone in the fucking city, including whatever is left of your family? Oh my god. Aren't you educated? You can read. You can count. How are you so stupid?
Rufina just storms off, I guess.
The body stands up on the broken legs. They kind of crack and even themselves out. You cannot keep running from fucking responsibility like this. You are a blue blood. Those people are nobodies, and you're not even taking charge. And
I
you're
am taking charge. I am getting us our funds to go to fucking Avignon.
Hi, Bishop of Venice. I brought you a demon. Oh wow, that's amazing, little girl. Here's a bag of fucking gold for your trouble. Are you that stupid? Do you think that's what will happen?
We have very few better ideas.
Oh my god, okay, I'm just gonna kill you because you are annoying me. You are so annoyingly stupid. It genuinely boils my fucking blood, and it's been cold for over a year, so I'm just gonna kill you.
Can we like jump out a window?
I'll say this would be a combat roll. You can,
Okay.
like we said before, I'll say difficulty would be 3. You can use it as jumping out the window. You can use it as hitting the thing or whatever, but because I don't roll, you have to roll.
Okay. Yeah. So I get to use my bond of the escape route again. Very apt, because this is the last place I escaped from. Or the first place I escaped from.
Wow, it's
Yeah.
like poetry.
Yeah.
It rhymes.
It rhymes. Well, I would have gotten 3 successes, but I got a 1 on my black dice, so I don't.
Oh.
I think there's more bile coming from its mouth all over you. Some of it seeps into the spider gash that you've been rocking so far. Are you screaming out? Do you think your friends hear this?
Yeah, I'm screaming out. Rufina's very much someone else to like problems for me type person. So yeah, I'm hoping someone else helps.
Okay, you two, do you hear sound of fighting from the house?
Peek her head in and just be like, are you okay? Are you all right? And she will scream. Like, viscerally scream.
Kiska will push past and through the door. I assume see the same thing, and he's going to try and pull the body off. And
After Rufina calms down a little, she like thanks you and goes, I think I am hearing voices. It called out to me and invited me and then spoke in a tongue familiar to me, more to the point.
It was alive? How?
I don't know.
When you walked in and you saw the body on Rufina, it was hard to say whether it was moving or not because Rufina was moving.
Okay.
It didn't really, there wasn't much resistance.
Well, I cannot explain why you would hear voices from it. Whose voice did you hear? Was it one of your family?
No, that of the child.
What?
They sat with you this whole time, Sybil.
Which
He
is-
was with me. He didn't
Yes,
say anything.
exactly.
What do you mean it spoke with the voice of the child?
Well, you see, back when the that the worm was eating the horse, the child talked to me and insulted me and said we must kill the worm as soon as possible, and then insulted me some more, and then the same again from this lifeless corpse.
So it wasn't the child then?
I don't know who it was.
But
I was here with you. No, I didn't. I don't remember speaking to you, Rufina.
are you sure? What did you say? Did you say something bad to Rufina?
No, I was with you, Sybil. I don't remember saying anything to you. I'm sorry if I did.
Very good. I think I might be hearing things. Maybe this entire business is taking its toll on all of us.
We are all being tested.
Anyway, I'd rather not linger here any longer.
This is not a good place to stay.
Well, finally approaching Florence. I don't want to flex too much, but I did read at least 2 articles on medieval Florence. But I did find it interesting that apparently the skyline is very towery. A lot of them still exist, a lot of them not, but now they aren't as prominent because, there's modern buildings that are taller. But at the time, all the merchants are building towers.
As a wizard say.
And living and living in these towers. Of course, the famous, if you've ever seen a picture, just one picture of Florence, you would have seen the big dome of the famous cathedral.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that. I think I'll make it like the central landmark around which will orienteer our excursions into the city when you actually get in. But the dome isn't there. The plague interrupted the construction. It's unfinished. Medieval trivia aside, you're stopped at the gates. The guards holding crossbows, they're not like actively looking to shoot necessarily, but there is a stern announce yourselves. Who are you? What's your business here?
Well, I'm a local noble, and I just sort of trying not to use my noble name, just in general, give the vibe of being nobility that I expect to be let into here. That's just my noble right. I'm not going to give you any better reason than that.
This is going to be a roll. I would lower the difficulty for you if you actually invoke the name. Of course, you may still not want to do that. Regardless of whether you mention your name or not, they will definitely question the card and what it is that you're transporting into the city. And of course, also tell you all to prove that you don't have the plague, which I think this is a very important question, actually. Is Sybil hot?
She's her maybe in a kind of a 13th century way, in that she's built like square. Like she's got hips, she's got shoulders.
Wow.
Like she could do some work.
Has she got a good high forehead? Like
All the way
with
back.
hairline? Yeah.
Like she's a very square woman, but she's 19, so she's not like she's got the bloom of youth. Put it that way.
And Rufina, is Rufina hot?
Rufina's been wearing makeup with lead inside of it.
So insanely hot is what you're saying.
For 13th century, yeah, she...
Face beat up like it fucking stole from her.
Yeah.
The guards would definitely shout that you need to, show lack of buboes. Is that how you say it? Buboes?
Yeah.
It's such a weird word to say.
Bubonic plague, yeah.
I know bubonic plague,
Yeah,
but
so it's
buboes
Yeah.
sounds like a made-up kid word.
It
like,
does, doesn't it? Yeah.
like you're speaking
Show
to a
us your
child.
bubos.
Exactly.
No, yeah.
But they're like, show your neck, your everything. And to the ladies, they're definitely like, ooh, show a bit of leg, show a bit of... so I would lower the difficulty depending on how much leg you want to show here as well.
Nobody wants to see Giscard's leg.
Flash a bit of fur.
Unfortunately, no. But you probably do get a couple of comments on you having the Templar outfit.
What do they say? Or is it just like...
I think there's just some homophobic jokes.
News travels.
So having like a Templar and 2 hot chicks pull up, that is, they're going to make a scene out of it.
Giscard's like, I am the one with the 2 hot chicks, no?
But yeah, what are you telling them? What are you explaining about the card? What's the chat here?
I think there's a lot of, like, shifty, just diverting of attentions. Like Rafina is trying to egg them on almost with the homophobic jokes. They start focusing on Giscard rather than the cart. A lot of just general confusion and shifting of principles, not saying things and trying to manipulate these people into letting us through with as little going on as possible, ideally.
Shade
Well,
and cannery.
one of them's called Luigi, and he may have a crossbow with various words written on the bolts. And he shouts, "What's in the cart?"
My plan would have been like, because I would imagine she would have put like her habit on. She's not been wearing it. But I think she would have put it on, and I would imagine that Sybil would go full like avenging angel, kind of like, we are here for a mission from God. We need to see the bishop kind of shit. But I don't know if that would fit with whatever you guys are thinking.
But what are we saying is in the cart, though? Or are we just being like...
I would just say that's for the eyes of
For
the
the eyes
bishop.
of- eyes
Yeah.
of-
Mhm.
I'll tell you what. I'll make this simple for you. I'll say, if you share as little as possible, it's going to be a difficulty 4 to convince the guards to let you in.
Right.
If you show them inside the cart,
Mm-hmm.
it would be a difficulty 3.
Yeah.
If you show them inside the cart and Rufina invokes her actual name, that's going to be a difficulty 2.
Yeah, I think we say like we're transporting this thing. We need the bishop. Like, I think we could convince some Florentine guard that the bishop needs to deal with this weird ass millipede baby.
Yeah. Above his pay grade.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
If I was a Florentine guard, I'd be like, sure, go.
Yeah. Just like, maybe we'll
Yeah.
get someone to come and see it. Yeah.
I think appropriately it should be me.
Mhm.
You could help or not.
I'll help.
You're not invoking your name then to lower the difficulty.
Maybe we will. Not planning to be here for long. So again, burn bridges while you're got bridges to burn.
Mm-hmm.
Let's also like name drop our name, which I haven't really thought of it. Sephoraza or something like that.
Sephora.
Sephoraza.
Sephora is how you get all that makeup, because you work at Sephora.
Oh, that is
Oh.
true. Yeah. Right.
Sephoraza.
Sephoraza,
Sephora's. Oh, Sephora. Okay. Yeah. That makes more sense.
which I think I
Sephora's.
vaguely remember from medieval Italy. So one for my virtue being a countess.
You are rich. I didn't realize you were a countess until like.
Oh.
Fucking awful.
That did not sound good.
Nothing went well there.
We can roll with the punches here, or you can turn it into a success.
We can roll with the punches.
Yeah, I think maybe we should just roll for punches. 5 is a lot of corruption.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, since it was a failure, I'm going to say this is what happens. You agree to, you reveal your name and you agree to show the contents of the card so they can see. Inside the card, there's this shadow, and you see just the legs of Chiara that are slightly twitching. Most of her upper body is within the shadow, but you do hear feeding noises.
Oh,
And then
I
you
was
see
worried that was gonna happen.
At this point, pretty fucking massive, the size of an alligator centipede with like 80 tiny little legs, still a tiny baby face at the end of it, completely covered in blood, attacks you. What do you do?
Hell yeah! I didn't like
Dang.
Chiara. Anyway.
Dang. I mean, the obvious answer would be to duck the hell out of the way of a baby, but I think I just failed a roll, so maybe...
I'm going to say your failure of that role is the fact that there's now a dead Chiara
Okay.
and this, but you're going to have to make a combat roll,
Uh,
whether you're dodging
combat
or-
roll to jump behind Luigi.
Uh,
He's a guard. He's actually sworn to protect me.
Sure. I'll say, well, Luigi is on the tower. They might help with shooting.
Oh,
They're doing social distancing.
Yeah.
oh, very smart.
Yeah, we're on the
Um,
other side of the barricade.
Yeah. So make a roll trying to either... the thing is attacking you. So
Okay.
make a combat
Yep,
roll,
let's-
whatever you're trying to do here.
That is exactly 3 successes.
Yay!
Tell us what that looks like. Maybe if you're not doing damage in fiction, maybe it's just you dodging and the thing, hurts itself in trying to attack you.
Maybe it does sort of lunge
Tripped over a
out,
leg.
and it's not quite used to its new size of body, and like almost, pulls a neck bone. It's not got a neck bone; it's a centipede, but pulls something in its like sudden rush of needing to get places, not being used to how big it is.
Okay, that makes sense. What are the rest of you doing?
Could we say in its like pulling and like stumbling, it's potentially set it up for an attack?
Sure.
4 successes.
Oh,
Wow.
so good.
You nearly kill this thing. It's on its last legs, and for centipedes, that's saying something.
So sort of as it's coming out and stumbles a bit, and Rufina's behind Giscard. Giscard draws the mace and brings it in a sort of very smooth, sweeping motion, and to go for an upward strike against its ugly baby face.
Poor baby face.
Hmm.
Sybil, what are you gonna do?
I imagine that she was sort of towards the front of the cart. So as she sees this thing lunge out at her friends and then get swept by you, I think Sybil's going to go to the front of the cart and take one of like the farming tools that the people were using as like the weapons, maybe like a fork or something. And half uncertainly, but like she seems like she's grounded herself. She's going to go towards it and she's going to plant herself. And I can imagine her getting to a place where if it thrashes, it'll almost like use its own momentum to stab itself, like when you do with a boar spear.
Okay, make a roll.
I think I'll use my bond, which is under siege. So the kind of tagline for it is like anywhere I stand is mine. She's summoning up this courage that she's got from basically being shifted around from like convent to convent and basically being told what to do by all these nuns and trying to be molded into living a life that isn't really hers and trying to find her own security in that. Yeah, so 4 successes all in.
Okay.
And I get another corruption point.
You do get a corruption point, but you kill the thing. Tell us what that looks like.
So I imagine that Giscard is slashed down on one side and it repels in the opposite direction. And as it twists around, Sybil's there with like the edge of this like fork braced against her foot, and it's just going to like dive itself onto the thing, and it's just going to spray her with shit.
Immediately as you're finishing it off, there's also like 6 crossbow bolts coming from the tower. Rufina, as this is happening, you do hear the voice of the child. You fucking dumbass. I told you to kill it. I told you to kill it like 4 times. Are you that stupid? It didn't need to come to this. When will you listen? If you have no brains of your own, listen to me next time, okay? Okay?
Okay. What's your idea?
Fuck's sake. Well, don't go to the bishop and tell you had a demon. Say you didn't fucking know what this was and just use the confusion of the guards to get into the city.
That's the plan.
Fucking hell.
I know people who have schizophrenia voices that are just like this.
And I think that kind of happens. The gate is opened, and in that confusion, you get to get in. Like I said, I don't want to flex me having read 2 articles and watching a YouTube video about medieval Florence. So I'm not going to keep going on about Ponte Vecchio or whatever. But that's the bridge where Dante, and then during World War II. I'm not doing that again. I'm not going into the lore. Walking through the city, and like you'll decide where you want to go. But I'll just put you next to the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, the one with the unfinished dome. Even in its unfinished state, very impressive. Next to it is a square with at least some trade going on. But yeah, as you pass the city, there are piles of corpses, there are people in barricaded buildings, there are people staying away from you. Yeah, there's all sorts of horrible shit to see in and I mean, medieval city is already like rivers of shit flowing everywhere, you know. So medieval city during a 3rd year of the plague, it's not pretty. Well, yeah, no, I'll give you something nice. There's a you can see from the square. There's a painter doing fresco work on the walls inside the cathedral, and there's some kids playing on the rafters also inside like the that are still used to. There's no construction work going on right now, but when it was stopped, nobody really stopped around to take the rafters down.
Right.
So you hear this like echoey because of the emptiness of the newly constructed building, echoey noises of children playing, and there's art happening. And in the square, of the market, there's of course people trading foods, but for exorbitant prices, of course, exactly as you would expect. There's also all sorts of holy relics that are going to protect you from the plague. There's pieces of the true cross, a lot of pieces of the true cross. There's, you're pretty sure one guy's selling the Spear of Longinus, the one that.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of holy water from Palestine. There's all sorts of amazing things that definitely would work. What would you like to do now that you're in Florence? The driver, by the way, is probably going to be like, I'm going to go, guys. Thank you.
I will do whatever the nun version of a salute is.
He probably wanted the cart, but then looked inside and realized the cleaning job that needs to be done to the cart
Yeah.
inside where like remains of Chiara's bodies are. So yeah, he just left. He probably has some friends in Florence. He's going to go drink somewhere.
Good, good.
I would say Sybil, you hear, I think you would from the cathedral. You hear a choir.
Oh, wow.
It's quite beautiful and absolutely real.
And absolutely real, 100%.
Yeah, it's a totally real choir singing Ave Maria.
Fantastic. I'm headbanging away. She's going to drift sort of towards the doors.
The fresco work on the walls is first of all magnificent, and second of all like 70% done. You still see the artist working away. It is exactly like you saw in the vision. You see the sky blacked out by a sea of writhing bodies. Sinners, saints, nobody's led into heaven. You see the angels, gray and depressed, sitting inside of the gates, being scared. You see the devils coming from beneath the ground. You see Satan leading them. You
King.
see the four horsemen. All of that.
Yeah.
All of that is depicted.
I think she will gasp. And she's reaching out and kind of like behind her to where the child is and trying to take the child's hand.
You find their hand.
Yeah, like pull them in. And she's going to turn to the two others and she's going to be, it's the vision, and be gesturing up at the paintings. And yeah, she's going to be looking at the child.
The child has a blindfold on and doesn't have eyes.
Yeah.
So they just sort of, they turn their head towards where you're saying.
Yeah.
But they are a bit confused.
The painter, he sees what you see. Perhaps the bishop already knows. The bishop must have seen.
So is there's still the painter painting away?
Yeah. She's like maybe 60-ish, white hairs in a ponytail. She's wearing like workman's clothes that are all covered in, bits of paints. There's some on her face. She's like proper painter looking.
Does the painter there share your visions?
You can see her come to that realization in real time. Yes. Yes, she must. Hello? And she's going to shout out to the painter.
A few kids look your way as well. It strikes you as maybe dangerous. They are playing on the rafters. It's some kind of version of tag. But they are, like this is a large place. The walls are quite tall. The painter's standing with her arms crossed, kind of looking at something as if, thinking how to tackle a specific artistic problem, and kind of distractedly looks towards your group. Visitor, sorry, the church is closed. I'm painting.
What you paint? Did you see?
I paint what they tell me. Though, frankly, it's just too much detail, I feel like the real artistry isn't in this. It's in things that are much more simpler. This is just a lot, It's easy to dazzle with all of this. I would like to dazzle with a brushstroke. You know what I mean?
But you've captured it so exactly.
I'm a good artist. I can't. I'm not. But it's okay. Kyrie, eleison, Christe, eleison. You would 100% be aware that this is how the mass starts.
All right. Okay.
So if you're a composer, what do you want to compose music for? You want to compose music, not the mass is different every single day, every calendar day but there's some bits of repeat. So you want to compose for those bits because those bits will be repeated almost every day. That's why everyone's written music for Kyrie, because every mass begins with a Kyrie.
Oh, okay.
Every single, it's going to be played 300 days a year, as opposed to if you just wrote a, right. So but it's 4 words, like I said, it's 4 words, so it's very short. It's a minute or two, and if you don't have instruments, it's just a small choir, 4 6 voices. So it's a minute of 4 words, and yet hundreds and hundreds of compositions. Do you see what I mean? All these details. I can paint a goat on fire, and this, all these demons, all these. It's too, but 4 words, a minute of music just for voice. Now you're entering a conversation with other artists. Now you're actually doing something interesting because of how limited. See, this is what I'm getting at. The more limited the means, the more it becomes about your expression. Do you see?
As she's talking and gesturing around, I'm taking in what she's saying. But I think I'm also suddenly aware the music's not coming from anywhere.
No.
Right. I will admit I'm not a student of music as such, but I think I understand.
It's like if you could only paint Virgin Mary, but only her, then it becomes about how you paint Virgin Mary. If you can paint anything, it's not, then you just paint anything. It's more interesting when you're limited, see?
Yes.
So I think, but Virgin Mary still, there could be so many, what is she wearing, where there's so much variation. I want to come to the so minimalist that there's nothing to remove anymore. And I'm thinking, and it might be just deaf. Well, I started with, just black everywhere and thought I'll just paint all the walls black. But then it's about the walls and the texture. So I think, kids, you're gonna fall again. And you see one of the children stabs another.
Right.
And then one of them falls with a plop.
Oh, shit.
The artist goes, "Oh, children, come on." And the children seem to be cheering as if somebody finally won the game. And they all just run down and gather around the body. It's, ignore them. They play this. He'll be fine. Don't worry. You're distracting me from work with all this racket.
Giscar's going over to the dead child on
Yeah.
the floor.
One of the children you see produces a vial and are feeding whatever's in the vial to the limp body. The broken bones, the splattered blood, all the damage that's been done is healing. And then the kid gets up. He screams the most blood-curdling scream. And one of the kids sees like you watching it. Don't worry, you don't remember this part. And then the scream ends, and then the kid opens his eyes and starts laughing, and the kids start running around again.
What the fuck, dude?
Giscar just saw like an elixir of life, like a holy grail of sorts.
A little resurrection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the kid with the vial?
Well, you can talk to him.
So they're just like running around like
Yeah.
monkeys on the
Basically,
jungle. Okay.
It's this game. They push each other off, and then one of them dies, and then they revive them, and they love this.
What is this elixir?
I don't know. You hear the kids chant demon blood, demon blood, demon blood, and leave the
God.
premises.
They're
Giscar wanted to accost the child with the vial.
Yeah, all of these kids dressed in rags, all dirty faces, and a lot of blood stains. But they seem very happy. So yeah, this little girl looks to you.
What is your name, little girl?
Lilith.
Lilith. My name is Giscard.
How do you say it?
Giscard.
Giscard.
Yeah, close enough.
Is that French?
Well, actually, no, I'm French. I would not let you get away with such a mispronunciation.
You were saying it until you said right.
Giscard.
Giscard.
No, Giscard.
Giscard.
You Italians will never get this.
Are you a knight? Do you have a horse?
Giscard looks away, kind of into the distance for a second. A look of confusion on his face. I perhaps I was.
Did you fight in a war? It's gonna rock him back and forth.
Perhaps.
Did you win? Did you kill anyone?
If God was on my side, I'm sure.
He's killed so many people. The kids go, wow. How many people have you killed?
I do not have a number for that.
So many. There isn't even a number. Infinity people. They're all very impressed.
Do they have a concept for infinity? Has infinity been invented yet?
I think
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is that
Zero
really
is
old?
ancient. Zero is very old.
Have you killed a dragon? They say in France there's dragons.
I have not encountered actually. You know what? Yes, child. I've killed the biggest dragon.
Oh.
So, yeah.
How big was the dragon?
It was
it green?
It was so big it blocked out the sun.
Whoa.
No, but so if you want to know more,
Did it have wings?
I will answer your question, but you have to. It is a trade. So I answer a question, you answer a question. What is in the vial?
She pulls out the vial. There's just like some blackish residue. Nothing. My question now. How many teeth did the dragon have?
Exactly 74.
Whoa. Do you have them?
That's
Okay.
question number 2.
Can he reach into his pocket and pull out like a bone dice, but one of them's kind of pointed and
Sure.
yeah, and like, look, this is a little one.
Whoa. Takes it. That's so cool.
Now may I see the vial? Will you look at that?
Yeah. She gives you the vial with not much interest.
Can I open the vial and have I have a virtue field cook from in past campaigns cooking and preparing food and so I have a nose for ingredients and for determining sort of like what things are.
It hits you with the waft of what I could only describe as rotted sulfur smell.
Ooh, that's spicy.
This is strong, and you drink this?
When you're dead, you don't taste it. Did the dragon guard a princess?
It guarded she was the most beautiful princess in France.
Did she have long hair?
But is my question first. Is my question first. Where did you get the vial from?
From this old man.
An old man?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where? Who is the old man? What was his name?
He's the alchemist.
The alchemist. And where can I find such a talented alchemist?
Well, that's another question. We have Did she have long hair?
She had hair that was a league long. You could walk for such a long time, follow the hair. That is how we found her and the dragon.
You can see like just her imagining the thing, and her eyes are like 2 plates, and everyone is very impressed with where the story is going.
So where can I find the alchemist?
It's in the tunnels below the. But did she live in a castle?
Wait, I don't think you fully answered. Tunnels below where?
It's you can go under city. There is tunnels, and then if you know where to go, you can find the alchemist, and he's got he calls it a laboratory. A
Laboratory.
yes, laboratory. So did the princess live in the castle?
She lived on a it was a grand castle on the edge of a cliff, and the cliff was a mile high.
Oh, a mile high.
I love this kid.
That's insane. And did she have a prince to kiss?
Well, okay, let's say she had a love for someone, but it was not allowed. But that's why she was locked into the castle.
Another princess.
Yes.
We love a baby gay.
Wow. Wow. And what was their names?
The names, the princess was Georgina and her lover was Julia.
Wow. Wow. What was the dragon's name?
The dragon was called Philippe.
And did the dragon sit on a pile of gold?
The dragon was actually very jealous. The dragon had run out of gold and was angry, and he went for Julia. For Julia's family had amassed a lot of gold over the time through entirely legitimate means.
Wow. That's amazing.
I think this is worth. Have you got a full vial of this?
No, we have to go to the alchemist to get it.
Would you lead me to the alchemist?
Well, we need some more anyway so we can continue playing. He only gives us little vials. Well, we should get more demon blood. Demon blood! Demon blood! Demon blood! Yeah, the kid's taken not horribly far, like many cities. Like every city, honestly, that I've looked at the time had a whole bunch of underground tunnels. Florence certainly had its share. Kids take a few alleyways, and then there's stairs down, and down and down and down they go. It's a little creepy because it's dark, but they are extremely unafraid. And you're, slowly putting together that if they can just revive each other in need, and there is no fear of death.
Yeah. And
You're-
kids are pretty daft when it comes to like
Yeah, you're just
danger
seeing,
anyway.
Yeah, like they have this, like, it's like they're drunk on this fearlessness.
wow.
Um,
I want some of that.
you really need to put some effort into keeping up, but you come to a room eventually. It just kind of suddenly is a room. It's tunnels, 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 boom. There's a lot of interesting things about this room. Various vials, various alchemical instruments, there's shelves of books, but no details is gonna really come close to the importance of what looks to be a crucified demon in the middle of the room. There is a thing that's about 10 foot tall. There are horns on its head. There are leathery wings. There are claws.
Shit.
And there is a needle stuck in its vein on its arm. And it comes into a tube and it goes through various filtration systems or whatever that are set up. An older man with white hair and a ponytail, workman's clothes, turns to you, clearly distracted by work, nods to you and keeps writing down some data as he's like measuring the pressure of the airflow or whatever. And all the kids are like, more demon blood, more demon blood. It's like, kids. He takes a couple of vials, gives them, and they seemingly very happily run away.
Just before they go, now I know it is actually a demon. Can I see any signs of like influence or corruption on the kids?
I think all you can see that's weird is this fearlessness
Okay.
that they have and this energy, but
There's no like physical changes.
but
that I can
no,
see.
they look
Okay.
like When you see a group of kids, there's always at least one that's like sniveling.
Yeah, there's always one that's yeah, there's always one that's weak.
This is the healthiest group of street urchins that you have ever seen.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I guess Rufina's going to call out to the alchemist, like, it seems you've found the cure for death and done what the hospitals could not.
I think we can do much more because, see, you need them at this point, at this stage. What I'm looking for, well, you get a group, you need a group. At this point, you're going to need a group, but I think you get a group and one of you replaces the demon. One of you replaces the demon, and, well, I don't know why crucifixion works, okay? I don't understand. I don't want to offend anyone's faith, but let's just say that scientifically speaking, crucifixion is just a position in space. It should not have special qualities, but it does. So maybe that's an argument for your side. He points to you and your habit, Sybil.
Side?
So what I'm saying is, if you, there's a bit of a ritual there. You create a bond, but then if one of you is on this cross, and then any of you die, they don't. As long as you have one here, you would think, but who would want to volunteer? But if you promise that you will come back for them, and there's a so it's egalitarian. And I don't think, as far as I can tell, you're not going to remember your time on the cross either. You're just going to be fine. But there's still a lot of data to. But yeah,
Where did it come from?
Oh, the demon.
Yes.
There was this kid that they found that it was.
Is that one of the kids?
Well, it wasn't. Apparently, it wasn't one of the kids. So the kids had this newcomer to the group, and would give the other kids visions. Anyway, they ended up killing that kid, and when they killed the kid, it turned out that it was a demon this whole time.
We'll just look at the child. We all just look at the child.
Yeah, look at the child. And also myself. Whoops.
Nobles would pay so much money for this.
No. I understand, but no, that's not why. This is a gift for humanity. Imagine if all of every single person on Earth was part of the bond.
But if we don't die, we stay here.
Yeah, but we also don't grow buboes and have horrible pain and
But heaven is coming anyway.
So I hear. Well, it's just an idea. The demon will make eye contact with you, Rufina.
You're getting it.
I'm getting it. Rufina's getting it. Rufina's hopefully just having a schizophrenic break. So it should be fine.
Psst. Girl, come here. Fuck's sake, come here, you dumbass.
No.
I swear to God, if you don't come here, I will fucking rip your head off. You fucking dumbass, I told you come here.
I like that we can't hear it, but it's still trying to whisper.
It's a demon this time. It might pull through on its threats.
Yeah.
This is,
True.
third time's the shame on me. Third time shame on you, actually. So yeah,
You dumb bitch.
Rufina will approach slightly.
Tell everyone to leave the room. Tell them to leave the fucking room.
You're just gonna call me a dumb bitch when everyone leaves the room anyway. Rufina just says that out loud to the demon.
That's it. Set your boundaries.
You're learning. That's great. Listen, if you don't tell them to leave the fucking room so we can have a conversation, I will flood this place with shit. Do you know how much shit this town has? This town has this town doesn't have any fucking sewers. I thought you Roman people figured this out like 2,000 years ago, but no, there is just shit on shit. There is waves of it, and I'm gonna drown all of you in fucking shit unless you tell them to leave the fucking room, okay?
Rufina's just sort of, I don't know, putting her hands in her head, just like,
Are you okay?
I'm hearing the voices again, but they might not be the voices, and they're threatening to Drown us if you all don't leave the room.
Oh, where are they coming
Don't
from?
just fucking come out and say it. Have an excuse, you dumbass. Fucking hell, you're so dumb. You're
gonna be-
so dumb.
I'm going to be wrapping my rosary around your wrist and just like, I'm not expecting it to do much, but you never know.
What's the alchemist doing as this is happening?
I think he's just like checking like tables of numbers against other tables of numbers.
Hasn't even noticed that there's a...
No.
Okay.
I'll take the crucifix that I've like wrapped around your wrist. I'm going to press it against this demon's like crook of its arm and just say like, stop. Still dead. And
This guy's going to go over to the alchemist and be like, hey, my friend says that... well, my friend, that was presumptuous of me, the lady, says that the demon is speaking to her.
I don't think he's speaking to the lady. I think she's crazy.
you have seen kids rise from the dead.
Well, there's a lot in science that we haven't discovered yet. So there's bound to be shocking revelations.
I don't particularly want to die in a flood of shit, so perhaps Rufina might have to talk to the demon.
Yes, if we could humor him, I suppose.
How are you convincing the alchemist to leave?
We just grab his notebook. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. That works. That's
works.
beautiful.
That works. Once everyone's left, the demon steps down from the cross. Oh, fucking hell, my back. Ow. Ow. Listen. He sits down, starts scratching his belly. That child has got to go. That the one with the blindfold. I don't like that. You're gonna kill her for me. You're gonna kill him for me, yeah?
I thought they were you.
No, you dumbass. I was using the child's body to speak to you.
Oh.
Are you? You are. Every time I think she couldn't get dumber than this. She could not get fucking dumber than this. And then you get dumber. You get dumber every.
This
How?
is like the
How?
world's worst negging. This is like negging to the 9th degree.
But what if you are using the corpse of the demon to speak to me now?
Do what I fucking say, or I will drown your friends in shit. You want them to drown in shit?
Not particularly.
Do the fucking math. If I drown you in shit, everyone dies. If you just kill the child, just one of you dies.
Well,
That's
no,
better.
no. If we kill the child and we don't go to see the Pope and
To
it
what?
doesn't
Save the world.
Save
What?
the world.
Again, you remember when you had that fucking idiotic idea? Oh, we're gonna take a fucking demon to Florence. Remind me what happened there. Oh yeah, the demon fucking ate one of your friends and then you had to fight it, right? Cool. Got it. So that was a great plan. Remind me what your other plan is.
None of these plans are my plans.
Obviously, the Pope will say, oh my God, this child knows something no one else does. I'm gonna stop the end of the world. I'm the Pope gonna fucking stop the sky from being blurted out by thousands of writhing corpses. That's what's gonna happen. I want to
What
cry.
do I do then? How do I
You kill the child.
What does that do?
Because I want you to kill the child. Once you've killed the
That's it.
child, I will help you. What do you want? Let's talk. What do you want?
I would quite like my noble life back.
You're gonna get your noble life back.
Well, no.
What do you mean no? You just said yes.
How do I kill a child?
Do I need to spell out everything for you?
I don't know.
What don't you know?
Everything seems to... There isn't an easy way out.
What is easier than killing a child?
That's the easy bit, is to making a deal with the demon, a devil. I've read some of the scriptures. You're not really here. You're here to tempt me.
Christ. Okay, let me explain something to you, right? Some people have in the past made deals with entities like myself. And then they got power from it, because that's what you fucking get when you make a deal with something like me. You get powerful. And when you get powerful, you have control of things, such as how the scriptures are written and what they say. And if you got power through a deal with something like myself, do you think you would tell everyone, hey, you know what? That power I got, that's really easy. You just need... No, you would tell everyone, hey, don't speak to the demons ever. They're going to trick you. Don't listen to them when they promise you... Of course, like, think, Christ. Think for a fucking second in your life. Okay,
Alright.
give me details. What do you want? Noble life. What does that mean? You want a castle, right? You want your own castle.
It's not quite the material object. It's more the status and
Oh, yeah,
respect
easy.
from the people.
Cool. Yeah, that's easy.
I think I need a second opinion.
Oh, fucking hell. From whom?
The child. They're a demon as well, right?
You are so... Bro, dude, you are... I cannot believe how stupid... I'm genuinely gonna cry how stupid you are. You're gonna ask the child opinion. Hey, you want to get killed? I think the child is gonna say no to that. I think it's not gonna like the idea.
Then why do you care about it? It's clearly not a child.
Listen, you are so stupid that if I explain to you why I care about killing this child, if I explained to you, you wouldn't get it. What? You know why? Because you're fucking dumb.
Rufina just sort of shakes her head and just goes,
What do you mean?
I can't do it.
He grabs you by
Kill
the
the child.
throat and lifts you up.
I mean, well, I'm now choking now, so I guess I can't talk back, but
Throws you to the wall. Make a fucking decision, you dumb slut.
no, I shall not kill the child.
Okay, then I'll just kill you.